Hey Wanderers, welcome back to another Foolish Wanderers podcast, the podcast about anything and everything. Today we're going to be talking about Saint Olga of Kiev, but first we're going to start with the unveiling of a statue for Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, so thanks. It sounds like a newscast, oh my god.
We tell only the best news. Got your important stuff on here.
Yeah, this is only the important stuff. So I just thought it was kind of, it was interesting news, but so a new monument dedicated to MLK and then his wife, Coretta Scott King, was unveiled in the Boston Common, where he actually gave a speech in 1965. So they unveiled this new statue, and it's 20 feet tall and 40 feet wide, and it's based on a famous photo of MLK, like, embracing, like, hugging his wife, like, putting his arms around her, and then she's doing the same. But, like, it looks weird. Like, like, it is just their arms and their hands. They cut, so, like, look up the photo right now, just look up the embrace, like, MLK, like, photo, and it's a really nice, it's it's a beautiful photo, like, touching photo. It's just, husband and wife, hugging. It's cute. Yeah, I don't understand why the artist decided to, like, not include their body, or more importantly, their head, just their arms and the hands, and it looks. So first of all, I saw it from, like, the correct angle of how you're supposed to look at it. Like, it looks like it's similar to the photo, and it looked like, okay, kind of. I was like, okay, looks fine. Weird artistic choice by the artist to just do the arms, but I kind of get it. And then I started looking at more photos from other angles, and it looks a little suggestive.
It does. It's really sad.
It kind of looks like somebody holding, like, I don't know how to say it, an appendage in their hands, like a very large appendage that's not an arm, like a lower body appendage, like, from every angle that's not the correct angle. That's what it looks like. It looks like a lady's hands holding like an appendage.
Like, that's the right word, but we'll use it.
I don't understand why the artist did that. Like, why wouldn't it's not. I know that art is subjective, but it is also not subjective. There's obviously a difference between what is a good choice and a bad choice, and I think this is a bad choice because it wasn't thought through.
I think
it looks like she's holding on to, like, a giant turd or, like, an appendage. There isn't, like, look at this angle.
I agree. I think if it was smooth, it'd be fine, but it's, like, lumpy, like his clothing, But yeah, especially if it's dedicated to MLK, I feel like they should have included their faces. Which I know is hard to get there, like, it's hard to
I would have
make it resemble them, but, like...
Yeah, I would have rather you just have it, like, small enough, I don't know. I mean, I know, it's just so when you do a statue, you mock it up a bunch of times, right?
Oh, yeah.
Smaller versions, half scale, whatever, 16ths of the scale. So you're gonna kind of look at the different angles. I don't understand why nobody said, hey, if you don't look at it straight on, kind of looks like she's holding on to a
Yeah,
like, it's just so, it's cool that MLK got enough, like, I mean, he's one of America's most famous, influential people from, the last century. Like, he, just, like, represents what it is to be, like the ideal American, I guess, right? So it's just, it's kind of sad that
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 just turned
this,
out this way.
yeah, it just kind of reminded me of also like other bad statues from, you know,
Oh
weird
no.
statues, and it reminded me of
Yeah.
like the Cristiano Ronaldo, his famous soccer player. He had a statue unveiling, and it did not look like him at all.
Oh, that's really
Or
awkward.
do you remember the Lucille Ball statue that they had
Yes.
replaced? How scary it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was kind of the thing. It was. You
So
can look it up yourself and see if it looks like a or.
so I was looking through articles and I found the New York Posts. And so apparently a little boy was in the crowd at the unveiling
Oh
and he
no!
yells up
It
he yells
looks
out,
like a.
"Yep, that's a phallus," or like the real word for it.
It's a Richard.
So yeah, so it's I mean the thought behind it is good, but the execution was not great.
Why would you do that to MLK? Hasn't he? Why?
Exactly, and I think
Anyway, if anybody really wants to see a good like statue of MLK, it's called Martin Luther. I've been there. It's great memorial park. It's called Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial, and it's in DC, and it's cool.
nice.
He's like emerging, like they include his head and the rest of his body,
Good.
not just his arms, but he's like emerging from like this big block of like marble or whatever.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I have seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So
history books and stuff.
yep. So I recommend looking up that one, and not the
Not the new one,
not the
unfortunately.
new one.
All right, shall we get into Saint Olga of Kiev?
As long as it's not like phallic. Yeah.
No, I think we're safe on this one, but
Okay. That's good.
it's intense.
Ooh,
So
okay. Not as
yes.
intense as a like 40-foot thing of bronze holding on to a
no, no.
a giant Richard.
There's so many names you could use. No, so this one actually, so I think it was like back in the very beginning of like the Russian-Ukrainian war. People started talking about Saint Olga of Kiev, and it made me interested because I'm Catholic, and saints are a huge part of our faith. So I was looking her up, and honestly, I am extremely surprised that she is considered a saint for what she does.
Aren't all saints though, like, I don't know anything about saints really, but aren't they all like, I don't know, like they didn't do good, a lot of them didn't really do good things in their life, but then they did like one good thing or something that makes them a saint, right?
So
like they weren't the best people.
I think a lot of like the original ones, or the older ones, especially like around the Crusades and stuff, that kind of era, definitely there's a lot that are really good, like Saint Therese Little Flower. She was, I think it was 15, she was 15 when she joined the convent, or became a nun, so like got special permission because she really wanted to be a nun. And she basically, her whole thing was like doing the little things to help, to do good and to praise God instead of trying to do big things. But she was just like a super sweet girl, and then she passed away sadly like when she was 24. But yeah, she's one of the really good ones, and there's like a handful of each. But this is Saint Olga is one that I am quite astonished that she's a saint. But we'll get into it. Alright, so Saint Olga of Kiev was born sometime between 890 and 925 AD to Viking parents in Pskov, northern Russia. When she was 15 years old, she married Igor. He was a prince of the Kievan Rus, which is today in Ukraine, Belarus, and Russia, so kind of that general area. So sometime later, she gave birth to her son, Svetoslav. Not much is really known about Igor or their son. The most we know about Igor is how he died.
Like advice, like I don't like, my rule of thumb is I would never like marry an Igor.
An Igor? Why?
Just because like
bad luck.
No, he's like and like the monster movies, he's the assistant.
Yeah, he is. Like
to Dr. Frankenstein, like to Dr. Frankenstein or whatever. Like he's the assistant.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, he is.
So
yep.
He helped like rob graves and steal dead bodies. Like
yeah, he did. Mm-hmm. All right, so the area that would later become Ukraine was under frequent attack during the 9th and 10th centuries CE. With the Viking Age in full swing, Scandinavian raiders known as Vranigans, or Varangans, came sailing down the Dnieper River. So at first, they only came to trade. However, it didn't take long, it only took a couple of decades, before these innocent trading trips turned into very aggressive invasions. The Vikings soon turned on the local Slav population. So by 882, the Varangians had seized Kiev, and their leader proclaimed himself Grand Prince of Kiev and started carving out an empire in Eastern Europe. The state he founded and expanded is called the Kievan Rus state to distinguish it from Russia. So Russia is a much younger country, tracing its stately roots back to the 13th century CE at the earliest. So Russia was still a ways out.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the local tribes, the Drevlins, was among the Slavs subjugated by the Rus. They had even fought for their new overlords, going as far as conducting war against the mighty Byzantine Empire. When the Rus' Grand Prince died in 912, the Drevlins stopped cooperating and stopped paying their tribute payments to Kiev. And this caused a lot of issues.
So, like, taxes to them?
Yeah, basically taxes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yep.
Primitive taxes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Chickens and geese and a few buckets.
Ducks and pigeons. A few buckets.
Uh-huh.
Yes. So the new Rus Grand Prince was none other than Olga's husband Igor, and he spent much of his reign fighting the superpowers of his time. Igor launched another Kievan Rus attack against the Byzantines, twice reaching their capital Constantinople but failing to besiege it. And then by 945, he deemed the time was right to settle internal matters, and he attacked the Drevlins, who extract new tribute payments from them. So basically he was like, it's time, it's been 30 plus years, you need to start paying taxes again.
I need more geese.
I need more buckets. Yes. So, confronted by Igor's much larger army, the Drevlins gave in, and they agreed to resume tribute payments to the Rus. On the way back home, however, Igor felt unsatisfied with his small victory. He wanted more, so
They always do,
and that's always their demise.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And so he decided to turn around to increase his demands. This time, however, he had a lot smaller army or troop with him, and this decision would cost him his life.
Oh.
So that's great.
Well, he wanted more.
Yeah. He got greedy. So the Drevlins were enraged by his oppressive commands, and now were very unimpressed by his small army. So the Drevlins quickly overwhelmed Igor and his troops, then promptly murdered Igor in a very gruesome manner.
Well, what do you mean? Like, what did they do?
So here we go. So here's a quote by the Byzantine historian and chronicler Leo the Deacon in the 10th century CE. Quote, "They had bent down 2 birch trees to the prince's feet and tied them to his legs. Then they let the trees straighten again, thus tearing the prince's body apart." Basically, deadly splits.
Oh.
Yeah, so not a pretty way to go at all.
Wow, people are creative when they want to kill people. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
so nasty.
This story gets even more creative. It's
Great.
Even more so, yes. So
creative.
Yes. Aren't you glad we don't live back then?
I mean,
yes. I mean, things still happen nowadays, but
yes, there's there's not a perfect world, but it's like,
no,
you would always want to live in the the day, like now,
yeah,
rather than even 30 years ago. Now you want to live.
Exactly, yeah. So when word of her husband's murder got back to Olga, she was rightly pissed. So her country needed a new ruler, and since her and Igor's son was only 3 years old at the time, Olga took the throne. She ruled the Kievan Rus in her son's place as a regent, and she would lead the state for about 15 years. So, a long time. So her first order of business was to take revenge for the killing of her husband. The Drevlins, on the other hand, emboldened by their seemingly successful uprising, decided that they needed to add insult to injury. They sent a delegation to Olga, which proposed that she marry the leader of the Drevlins, Prince Mal. So the one that ordered her husband to be killed now wants to marry her. Yeah. So the Drevlins thus hoped to accomplish 2 things. 1, to prevent a retaliatory counterstrike by Kiev and Olga, and 2, to improve their status within the Rus state, achieving equality from the Varangians, rather than remaining their subjects. So they wanted to be bigger and have more power.
Yeah.
So Olga, sensing her opportunity for revenge, responded to the embassy, quote, "Your proposal is pleasing to me. Indeed, my husband cannot rise again from the dead. but I desire to honor you tomorrow in the presence of my people. Return now to your boat, and remain there with an aspect of arrogance. I shall send for you on the morrow, and you shall say, We will not ride on horse, nor go on foot. Carry us in our boat, and you shall be carried in your boat.
All right.
Yes.
Let's see what she does to them.
Well,
probably like carried in the boat of like on fire or something like that.
close. So after she told the Drevlins to wait in their boat, and she asked her men to dig a large trench. Can you see where this is going?
No.
Okay. So the next day, Olga met the messengers near the river, and as promised, when they repeated the words she had instructed them to speak, the people of Kiev grabbed the Drevlin boats, and with everyone, all the ambassadors in them, carried them over their heads. As they were paraded across the Rus capital, the Drevlins thought Olga was paying them a great honor, until the procession reached her court.
Wait, like they were like
carried it through
like
town.
a rock concert? Like they were surfing the crowd in a boat?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
That's awesome.
It doesn't end awesome though.
No, but I would be like, I would be in the boat and I would be like pretend rowing, like on a rowboat, and I'd be
Of
like,
course you would.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you hit people with your oar, just smack,
My
smack.
fake oar, be like a fake oar or something.
Yeah. So until the procession reached her court, where the deep trench had been dug overnight, the Rus then tipped over the boats and threw everyone into the ditch, then buried them alive.
It's like Game of Thrones. It's like
Is
an
it-
episode of Game of Thrones.
Is it
but it's
really?
real. Yeah. They do stuff like this, sort of in Game of Thrones. Like, you know,
Okay.
except it's more poisoning or, you know,
Oh, yeah.
killing, stabbing, but, you know, this is cool. This is cool.
Okay. So while they were being covered with dirt and rocks, Olga then asked them whether they found the honor to their taste. The dying men called up that their suffering was worse than the death of Igor.
I don't know. I have no idea. Doesn't seem like it, but I guess you would suffocate being buried alive. I don't know. Both
It'll
are
last longer.
both are creative. This one is more creative, but you know,
Yeah.
surfing the crowd to your death. That's kind of yeah.
Yeah, it's like super happy and awesome to horrifying death.
Yeah.
Yep. So after this, however, Olga was still not satisfied.
Oh no.
Yeah. So wave 2! So immediately, Olga took the next step on her vengeful plan. She sent a message to Prince Mal, who was still in the Drevlin homeland. Olga asked him to send his, quote, most distinguished men to her in Kiev, so she might go to their prince with due honor. So basically, like, they could escort her to meet Prince Mal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, she's not gonna marry him or anything?
Nah. No, this is all like a...
Is she saying that she's gonna
Revenge.
marry him? Is that what she's like says in her letter or no?
She's, like, hinting, like, do this for me. It's, like, maybe, kind of. I don't think she ever really said yes, but it's kind of like, do this, and then we'll see, kind of a thing.
Oh, okay.
So, unaware of the horrible fate of the first party that he sent, Prince Mal was elated by Olga's positive response. He gathered his best men and sent them to the Rus capital. When they arrived, the Grand Princess ordered her people to draw their visitors a nice hot bath. She then asked the Drevlin men to meet her after they had bathed. Weary from the long journey, the emissaries eagerly entered the bathhouse. Olga now moved on to stage 2 of her revenge, where she had her people set a fire to the bathhouse, starting with the doors, and the ambassadors were burned alive inside.
This is like an episode of Game of Thrones. This is, you know.
Yeah, it's like probably where they got some of their ideas. Yeah. So not quite feeling like she had avenged her husband,
What?
Olga decided to yet again up the ante.
Okay, she just likes it at this point.
Oh, I'm sure she did, yeah.
After the first one, I'm like, okay, you be done now.
It's like, you're like,
You
okay.
good. You're good. Calm
No.
down. You're fine. Take a
Oh.
breather. No, she's
We gotta go. Yeah, we're only on slide
on a-
8 of
yeah.
11, so.
she's on a warpath. Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So Olga now sent another message to the Drevlin homeland. She ordered Prince Mal to prepare great quantities of meat in the city where you killed my husband, that I may weep over his grave and hold a funeral feast for him. So Olga then finally traveled to Korostin, the capital of the Drevlins. Prince Mal most likely found it suspicious that both of his diplomatic parties that he sent had not yet returned.
Yeah.
I would be very, like...
And he's not getting letters from the first one either.
No,
Like,
he's not.
is he that dumb?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Well, then, you know,
Yeah. So so with because he didn't want to anger his future wife, he did what she asked and threw a funeral feast for when she arrived. So the Drevlins, tempted by all the mead that they had gathered, soon began to heavily drink. Olga and her followers, however, played along but went easy on the booze. When all the attending Drevlins were drunk off their rockers, the Grand Princess ordered her relatively sober company to kill her hosts, egging them on with the revenge of the murder of Igor. It was a downright massacre.
It's like the Red Wedding from Game of Thrones.
This is probably where they got their
wedding.
idea. Is that a thing?
What?
The mead wedding?
It is now.
Okay.
So I'm gonna call it.
Okay, yeah.
The mead wedding. I mean, I've done something like this where you get people drunk to get information out of them, but
yes.
I wasn't stabbing or, killing anyone.
Good. Don't do that.
Just like snooping for information. That's,
Yeah. So you might be thinking by now the debt of the Drevlins should have been well paid.
What? Like a
long time ago, back in Wave 1. But not in the eyes of Olga of Kiev. She returned home and quickly gathered an army to crush whatever was left of the Drevlin tribe.
Oh my goodness. What's her son doing? Is he just like sitting in a room by himself going like
yeah, he's
like
a
block or something?
I'm sure he has like attendants and stuff, but yeah, he's just chilling.
Mommy's a murderer.
Whoa. Good goals. Yeah.
Good parent.
So the war began extremely favorably for the Kievan Rus. They won several battles and drove the Drevlins into their cities. However, that's when problems started to appear. Khorestan, in particular, withstood their siege for over a year. So
Who's
never...
that?
What?
Who's Khorestan?
That's one of their cities. The Drevlins, one of their cities.
Got it.
Yeah. So never known to lack creativity, Olga sent the city's inhabitants another message.
Yeah, she doesn't lack any creativity, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. So she said, "Why do you persist in holding out? All your cities have surrendered to me and submitted to tribute, so that the inhabitants now cultivate their fields and their lands in peace. But yet you had rather die of hunger without submitting to tribute." Saying that basically, why don't you just pay us and we'll leave you alone?
Oh, God. Okay. She's scary.
She is, yes.
This woman is nuts.
So the people of Khorestan responded that they were willing to pay tribute again, but not without cause. Added that they were afraid of Olga, that she was still intent on taking revenge for her husband's death. This is like over a year later.
This is like wave 12.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yep.
So trying to ease their fears, Olga answered that the slaughter of the 2 embassies and the events of the funeral feast were enough for her.
Were they?
She added a seemingly small request. "Give me 3 pigeons and 3 sparrows from each house."
See, that's their taxes, I'm telling you. It was like just birds and like a bucket.
Oh, we'll get to how these birds are used.
Oh,
so,
no.
The Drevlins, delighted that the Grand Princess showed her merciful side, did as she asked and sent all the birds.
Please tell me she just ate them. Like,
no.
Like roasted them on a spit, and it was like, it's
That's
lemon and rosemary pigeon.
Pigeon. Yeah. Isn't pigeon supposed to be delicious?
I think so.
Yeah.
Anyways. I feel like it wouldn't be, because they're like everywhere. They're disgusting.
Yeah, but I suppose like back then. Like,
it seems, I don't know, with like French food or anything, it seems like they take like the nastiest, like most like normal thing, and they're like, it's gonna be like, we put some gilded gold on there, and
yeah, it's a gilded boar's head,
little saucer, and then it's $500,
yeah.
Like escargot or like caviar, snails and fish eggs.
Yeah, I'm not a fan personally.
I do like the escargot though. It's kind of fun.
I think you told me that, yeah.
It's kind of like Russian roulette, where like some of them might be like some of them might have some like sand or kind of taste like muddy in them, but then you're gonna hit like some that are like so buttery and like just good.
Okay,
but
yeah, I'm not a fan of the mud and dirt. But
I don't think I sold them that well.
No. But you go ahead. I'll save it for you.
It's fun. They come in like this cute little like snail, not snail trail, but like snail plate.
It's a snail coffin.
A snail coffin, and then you have like this special kind of like tweezer looking thing
Okay.
You grab the shell by that, and then they give you, it looks like a little, like, pin, but it has, like, a little fork, like a little forked pin.
Oh, okay,
And
yeah.
you take that, and you go in the shell, and you stab it, and you kind of, like, wiggle it around, and you rip out that little snail, and you eat it.
This sounds very intensive.
And it had, like, those, I don't know why I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting them to have, like, those antennas like they have in, like, the cartoons.
They still have them on there?
Yes, I ate them!
You ate their eyeballs?
Oh gosh. Yes, I did. Is that their eyeballs?
Yes!
Oh wow.
I'm pretty sure. Is that just their... Let me
I thought that was, like, their ears or something, like the little antennas with the balls.
I'm pretty sure it's their eyes.
Well,
Let me double check. You ate them for sure.
Oh gosh. Now, the next thing you're gonna tell me is that, like, the sand and dirt was just, like, it was like snail poo.
I mean, could be. They gotta go too somehow, so.
Yeah.
Yep, that's their eyeball.
Oh lord.
They're very tiny, but yeah, that's their eyes.
If I had to eat an eyeball, I'm glad it was that small.
Fair, yeah.
Because I don't think I could do, like, the fish eyeball thing, like,
yeah, I don't know if I could either, because it's like a hard part, and then there's a soft part.
Yeah, isn't the hard part, like, the cornea or something?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
What if one of them had a cataract? Is that going to be harder?
I think we gotta move on.
Yeah, move on to Olga and her revenge.
Gross. Okay.
Palate cleanser from bloodthirsty Olga.
Okay. So now inside the city, people are already celebrating the end of the war, and for such a small price of birds. But in her camp next to the city, Olga ordered her soldiers to attach sulfur and a piece of cloth to the birds' feet.
What?
At night, they set the cloths on fire and released the birds, who dutifully flew back to their nests at their homes that they came from. A swarm of burning birds came down on Korostin, which was mostly built up of... Are you okay?
I just think it's really funny.
Just all the poor little birds.
It's horrible.
It is horrible.
It's funny at the same time.
Yeah, it's really bad, but it is kind of funny.
It's really bad.
It's
just
really...
like these balls of fire just flying into the town. You got murdered by by a pigeon.
By a pigeon. Death by pigeon.
Death by pigeons. Oh my gosh.
Oh man. And sparrows too. The poor little tiny birds.
Oh,
those are cute.
Those are, yeah, like, oh.
Yeah. So most of Korostin was unfortunately made with wooden buildings. So basically,
they all were.
They basically all lit in almost immediately, and the whole town caught on fire almost at once.
Do you think anybody in the town knew it was, like, flaming
birds,
flaming fire birds?
Well, most people didn't survive, because even if, like, they survived the fires, when they were fleeing the capital, Olga had thousands of them killed. God. And others, though, she saved as slaves to give to her followers. And whoever remained was left to pay tribute to the Rus once more. So
that's great.
You got killed, used as a slave, or got taxed heavily.
Nice lady.
Oh yeah, very generous. So although the repression of the Drevlin uprising may paint a picture of Olga as a vengeful widow, her historical reputation is altogether different. She spent her later years strengthening and centralizing the young Rus state. She transferred power to her son Sviatoslav when he reached maturity, and continuing Igor's dynasty. But what really established Olga's positive image for ages were her religious endeavors. While visiting Constantinople, the Byzantine capital, in 950, or around that time, she converted to Christianity, and she did much more to spread her new religion to the Kievan Rus. They were at first downright hostile to the idea, and her son Sviatoslav even refused to be baptized. But Olga carried on regardless, and had several churches constructed throughout the Rus lands. Most of her subjects remained pagan while she lived, but after she passed away, her mission nevertheless turned out to be a great success. What's that quote? There's a thing on TikTok that's like, it was a great success. It's like this, like, it's like supposed to be like a vampire.
It's
I have to
not
look it up.
Borat? It sounds like it'd be Borat.
It might be.
Is
I
it
don't know.
Borat? Did you just call Borat a vampire?
I don't know, but like everyone talks about it as vampire. Like he cannot afford. It's great success.
I don't know. Is it Borat? Did you just call Borat a vampire?
Look it up. He cannot afford. Great success. Is my house. Entry, please. Okay.
This is my house. Entry, please. He is my neighbor. You should come to react by.
Katrina, that's
My
Borat.
assholes.
That's not a
I
vampire.
get a window from a glass. You must get a window from
I don't know who Borat is. I'm sorry. But people do this like as vampires on TikTok, so that's where I got that from.
Wait, what? People.
Okay, listen to the full thing and like okay, hold on.
This my house. Entry, please. He is my neighbor. You should come to react by. Spare me my assholes. I get a window from a glass. You must get a window from a glass. I get a step. You must get a step. I get a clock radio. You cannot afford. Great success. This my
I don't like TikTok.
Why?
They say Borat's a vampire.
Well, not everybody, but that's where I got associated with it. So I apologize to Borat.
My wife. I can't do it.
My wife.
My wife.
My wife. All right. Let's see. So, 20 years after her death, her grandson, Grand Prince Vladimir the Great, famously converted to Christianity. Because of her converting influence, Olga of Kiev is venerated as a saint in both the Roman Catholic Church as well as the Russian Orthodox Church. But the vicious slaughter of most of the Drevlin tribe during her early regency probably makes Olga the most genocidal saint who has ever lived. And I agree.
Kind of smart.
Smart, terrifying, vengeful. I don't know.
Very smart. She was like, I'm gonna do all my dirty work now, and then just wash it away.
Yeah, you just
Yep.
convert and
All the sins of the bearing and the birds of fire get swept under the rug.
Oh man, but like even if you look at pictures of her like paintings and stuff, she looks pretty intimidating. Some of them are awesome. Some are. I have a couple if you want to look at them, Kendra. So yeah, what did you think of Saint Olga of Kiev?
She's pretty cool. Like this is like, is she like is she like the patron saint of like Kiev then, or?
I think so. Let me look up what she's a patron saint of again.
That's badass then. If you're gonna pick a patron saint, you better pick her. She's scary.
She is, yeah. She's the patron saint of widows and converts. So converting to Christianity and widows.
But I thought, don't cities have like a mascot or something?
The mascot.
Is she the mascot of Kiev or no? Do I Google that?
You probably can, yeah. Oh yeah, it says that she is. So some sources say that it's her. There's another saint that I'm honestly not sure if I can pronounce. It's like Josafat Konservik or something like that. Who I've never heard of.
I would definitely pick her.
Yeah, especially for wartime. Heck yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so I think you can see why TikTok started loving her and like talking about her as soon as the war on Ukraine.
Oh,
started.
this is from TikTok.
I think that's where I first came across it. Yeah, it was TikTok.
Okay. Well, I think I'm gonna stick with Saint Borat instead of Saint Olga.
Borat. Okay.
My wife.
I got the it was like I got the radio. Cannot afford. Great success.
Great success.
Great success. Oh man.
Your homework is to watch Borat.
Okay, fair enough. Since I really butchered that reference.
It was like, why does this vampire sound like it's
Borat?
It's like,
probably is.
The least like non-scary vampire ever because he's got like that mustache with the suit with his little like politician suit thing.
Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
Oh man. So some resources I used were thebritannica.com, medievalreporter.com, and of course Wikipedia.
Always Wikipedia.
Oh, and also allthat'sinteresting.com.
Oh, good website.
Yeah. All right, Wanderers. Thank you for listening to another Foolish Wanderers podcast. If you have any suggestions for any future episodes, please feel free to email us at fwplisteners@gmail.com.
And as always, new episodes of the FWP are released weekly from wherever you get your podcasts from, including this place that you're listening to right now. And if you'd like to support us, we would really appreciate it if you would consider leaving us a 5-star review.
Yeah. All right, Wanderers. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys next time.
I still have to use a script, and it's been like how many freaking episodes? Like,
I was
what
wondering
was
what you're
I saying
grabbing.
again? Yeah, that's what I was grabbing.
What are you drinking? Like orange juice?
Ew, no.
Okay.
I really don't like orange juice, but I do like Sunny D, which I know is not orange juice at all.
I don't think so, no.
Like, it's the diabetes amped up sugar, like hummingbird feed version of orange juice, but I like that one.
The sugar intense one.
Yeah, I like that one. No, I'm just drinking, it's just, is it like Simply Lemonade?
Oh, so
Pink
good.
lemonade? No, it's strawberry lemonade, that's what it is.
Okay, I love the raspberry one. They're so good, though. But yeah, they have really good stuff.
Mhm.
That's the orange juice I get, too.
I get Sunny D.
Sunny D.
I have the palate of a 7-year-old.
With the chicken nuggets and the Sunny D.
I really don't eat chicken nuggets anymore. I
That's
had
surprising.
them. I probably have them. I think I have them once a quarter. Once a business quarter, I probably have chicken nuggets.
Oh, man. Yeah, I guess, yeah, probably about the same, too. Like, once every couple of weeks I have them. But then Ray demands chicken nuggets. She loves chicken nuggets.
I've never heard of a cat liking to eat chicken nuggets ever.
She, like, when I first got her in my apartment,
Mhm.
I would make dino chicken nuggies because they are the best. And she would demand part of it. Like, she would literally sit by me and, like, rub against me and be like, give me chicken nuggets. And then I'd look away for a second and she'd steal it. So she's
So does
obsessed
she
with chicken
have like a
nuggies.
preference of like the type of chicken nugget? Like, does it have to be the dinosaur
So that's the
cutout
ones that
version?
those are the ones that I usually get.
Okay.
But like I haven't eaten McDonald's around here, like McDonald's chicken nuggets around here.
I don't like those things.
You know-
Why are they in the shape of a boot? I don't understand.
There's like there's supposed to be 3 shapes. There's like a boot, a ball, and a bell. I think. I don't know. They're weird.
The breading is weird to me.
It kind of is, yeah.
I always
every
like.
once in a while.
I always like the just like the crummy, like the crumbly
Yeah.
breading. You know, like breadcrumb breading.
Sure.
I don't like the batter like McDonald's is.
Sure.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I give her the tails off the dino nuggies, and she loves them.
Do you think it like it awakens like her primitive like cat self? Is that it's like shaped like a
chicken?
like prey or something? Like the dinosaur is like shaped like a prey, so she was
I don't think she gets that far. I think she just smells them and goes feral.
goes,
She's like, oh, what? But she also loves saltine crackers. And it's the oddest thing. So I was eating them when like my stomach hurt a little bit, and she literally stuck her nose in the sleeve and pulled out a cracker and started eating it. I was like,
that's like the
okay.
blandest. The saltine cracker has as much flavor as like those styrofoam peanuts that you use in packing boxes.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the circus peanuts candy.
No!
I love those things. They're so good.
Those should be outlawed.
Those are delicious.
Mm-mm.
Yes. But yeah, I don't know. I like saltines. Like I like them with pepperoni. Sometimes for a snack.
What?
Yeah, you eat saltine crackers and pepperonis.
Like stacked?
Yeah.
Why not upgrade it
that.
to a Ritz cracker or something?
They're not as good.
Or
rice.
like anything that could be remotely close to, I don't know, like Italian. I don't know, like a Triscuit, like an Italian herb Triscuit, or
Nah.
a wheat thin. Just a saltine cracker and
Thin.
pop. Oh, you sound like you're in prison.
Eh, I did this in college. Don't you remember that? Like, I'd literally
No,
eat saltines and pepperonis.
no. I went through art. I went through design school. I mean, it was kind of a
Yeah,
little bit high pressure situation, lots of
yeah.
stress. I wasn't really taking notes of your dietary weird snacks.
Yeah, but yeah, saltines and pepperoni have been like a childhood thing. So mom eats it all the time, so I just kind of grew up doing it too.
I don't
It's
think I
good.
have anything like that.
It's good.
I'm trying to think.
I also sometimes I eat so you take spam and you pan fry it so it gets
Mm-mm.
crispy. Oh, it's so good.
Not my thing. Nope, 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 nope. Too salty. Way too salty for me.
I just get like the reduced sodium one. That one's pretty
It's still
good.
like,
Too salty.
okay, on the levels of salt, like, you know, like a normal thing that like salted.
Mm-hmm.
Spam is like through the stratosphere, and then I feel like the low sodium is like sort of like, you
Like
know,
okay-ish.
it's in the outer like atmosphere,
Yeah.
and
It's
then like regular spam is like boom, it's to
Yeah.
Mars.
Yeah, I think it's good. You put it on toast. Mm.
Hmm.
It's good.
I think I would rather try that beans and toast like they do in England rather than spam and
Yeah.
toast.
Really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of fairy bread? I think it's Australian.
I think we've talked about this
Oh,
because it sounds very
probably.
familiar.
Yeah. Basically, it's white bread, and you put margarine or butter, and then put sprinkles, like nonpareil sprinkles, the tiny crunchy ones that I don't like.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Yeah, fairy bread.
I'll do that. I would even have the bread with that Vegemite or whatever it's called.
Oh, yeah.
I would
Yep.
try that before I would do spam and toast.
That surprises me because Vegemite I thought was supposed to be super salty.
It is?
I thought so. Let me Google.
Then no. I don't want to
It's
stay away
very
from that salt
yeasty.
life. Yeasty and salty?
I
No.
think so, yeah. You put like an extremely small amount though. You mix it with butter. You have extremely small amount.
I'll do like I like the salted like licorice, but like that's like a very little amount.
I don't like those. Yeah, it contains a high level of sodium.
Nope. Nope. Then I say no to that.
Okay. I got my bedtime coffee. I'm ready to go. Literally, I
What
heated up
time
coffee.
is your bedtime when you have coffee?
Like normal, 11.
How do you fall asleep?
It's kind of like what I said. Like even in college, I'd drink it hoping it'd keep me awake, but it never really did. It just kind of made me tired or calms me down. Yeah, coffee.
Mm-mm-mm.
If I want to stay awake, I eat sugar, like Sour Patch Kids.
Mhm.